Hi there, welcome back to Spring into Math 7. I'm Mrs. Campbell, and today we're going to be talking about retail prices given wholesale, markups, and sales tax. Let's get started. First, let's talk about what are wholesale prices. So I want you to think about companies that sell us items. Let's think about types of companies that sell things like hairspray or video games. Usually they buy those items in quantity because they sell so many of them and they sell them to us. Now, because they buy so many of those same products, they get special prices. Now, those prices are called wholesale prices, and they're cheaper than what we actually pay for each one of those items in the store. So they figure out how much each piece or unit, let's say one video game or one can of hairspray, costs them, and then they charge you a certain amount more for each product. Now that difference is called their gross profit. So what is a markup? Well, if a company charges you too much, you may not purchase products from them, right? But we also have to think that the companies still want to make a profit. So they really need to be thinking about and do research in the market of how much they want to mark up items. So after they study the market, they decide on a markup percent by which they will increase the wholesale price to get the retail price. So, and here I've got all your definitions kind of color-coded for you. The wholesale price is what the companies pay for the product. The retail price, that's what the company charges. That's what you and I pay when we buy that product. Now, a markup is the percent increase from the wholesale price to the retail price. Let's take a look at an example. Let's suppose a company sells toothpaste. They buy the toothpaste for $1.10 per tube. This is the wholesale price. Remember, they may buy a case of 200 tubes all at once. So in order to make a profit, they're going to mark up the price up by 65%. This is their markup. So in order to calculate the retail price, they increase the wholesale price by 65%. So let's figure out the retail price given the wholesale price cost, and because we know what the percent of increase is going to be. So the amount of change will be 110, their wholesale price, times 0.65, because that's the amount that they want to mark it up, which gives us 0.715. We're going to add that increase to the wholesale price. So the original price or the wholesale price is $1.10 plus 0.715 cents, and we get $1.0815. We'll round it off to the nearest whole cent, and the retail price of that tube of toothpaste, what you and I might pay for it, will be $1.82. Okay, so let's summarize. To calculate the retail price, you find the amount of change, I'll highlight this for you, find the amount of change by multiplying the wholesale cost with the percent of increase. Now remember to convert your percent into a decimal to multiply. Then you just add the increase to the wholesale price, and then you have your new retail price. Let's also take a minute to talk about sales tax. On most products that you purchase, stores also charge you a sales tax, which is determined by the government. We've talked about sales taxes before. Now, this money is paid to the government so that they can provide services to people. Tax is usually a percent increase that's added to the retail price. So maybe if you've gone to the grocery store with your mom, or you've gone to Target or Walmart with your mom, and you have a total amount due, let's say of $85 worth of products and goods in your shopping cart, but you're not going to actually pay that exact amount. You need to pay an additional percent, which is the sales tax. Let's look at an example. If you were to buy a dozen roses from the company in the previous example, you'd pay $33. Let's suppose there's a tax of 6%. This would be an increase of 6%, so we would use a similar process to find the final price. Because this deals with money, we round calculations to the nearest cent or hundredths place. So we first want to look at the amount of the tax, which is 33 times 0.06 is 1.98 or $1.98. Then we're going to add that tax of $1.98 to the retail price, the 33. So 33 plus $1.98 is $34.98. So the total price with tax will be $34.98. $2.98. So quickly, let's summarize. To calculate sales tax, we want to multiply the retail price by the percent of the sales tax. You'll need to convert this percent to a decimal first. Then you add that amount to the retail price, and that's your final cost for your customer. Or if you are the customer, then that's your final price. All right, everyone, that just about does it for this lesson. Thanks so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.